And we are live. I'll be breaking down UFC 226 today, solo. And what a card we have, man. I mean, I broke down the tough 27th night card yesterday. And although that card's really good, I think this card is just, a lot better. Can't wait for UFC and National Fight Week. We got two cards in a row. And without further ado, man, we'll just dive right in, man. We already, talked about the Cowboy card yesterday. So, first fight of the night, we got a girl jobber fest. We got Jamie Moyle versus Emily Whitmire. And yeah, man, this is, your typical girl jobber fight. Moyle's like a minus 300 here. Um, I don't think she should be, minus 300 against anybody. Whitmire is not that good, though. Both these girls aren't good, but I just think that Jamie Moyle's, more well-rounded. I think she's better on the feet. Whitmire, is not the best on the ground. Moyle has, decent takedowns. Um, Whitmire, I just don't see that, that much success in her in this fight. But that being said, she's definitely live though, because Moyle's just, not good either. But I think Moyle, can keep it on the feet, kind of outbox her and take her down, kind of win a decision. But I'm not confident in Moyle at all because it's Jamie Moyle, she's not that good. But both these girls aren't that good. So I got Moyle, but yeah, don't play her. So next fight, we got a pretty good fight. We got Lando Vannata versus Drakkar Klose. And yeah, I actually agree with the line. I think Lando's going to win. I'm worried about his gas tank. If it gets out of round one, Klose could turn it up. But, I mean, Klose is not really that good, man. I mean, the guy could even put away Devin Powell. The Tamer fight, Tamer beat one every round easily. I mean, he just didn't do anything in that fight, really. He beat DKC, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, I thought Mark won that fight. It was a close fight. I don't know, man. He's a weird fighter, man. I mean, I don't think he's good. I really don't think Costa is that good. He's a tough guy, trains at MMA Lab. Good wrestling, striking's not that good. Lando, is a very good fighter in the first round. I still think he's pretty good though. I mean, I know he gasses, but I mean, the fight with Bobby Green, I thought if there wasn't that point deduction, he would have won. You know, we know what kind of striking he has. He had that really good fight with Tamer. I'm a big Tamer guy, but I don't know how Tamer won every round. I mean, I'm pretty sure he won a 30-27. I thought Lando won the first round. Um, Lando's going to come out like a truck, and I really think he's going to hurt Klose. I know we haven't seen Klose in that much trouble, but I think that chin's, going to be. I think he's going to get dropped and get tapped, or get either tapped out or get, knocked out. So I think Lando's going to get a finish here. But I will say, if he gets out of the first round, then it will be hairy. But I'm not playing it because I mean I don't really like the line that much, and there's better plays in my opinion. But I do think that Lando's the better fighter. So I mean the guy dropped Tony Ferguson like 3 times. So I think Lando's gonna get the win. Next fight we got Dan Hooker versus Gilbert Burns. This is another good fight. I'm actually I've been going back and forth in this fight because this is a very close fight for me in my opinion. Um, Hooker's looked very good at 155. His striking's really good. He's big for the weight class. He does have a good, guillotine. But Gilbert Burns, man, his striking's looked a lot better. He's definitely showed that in his last couple of fights. Obviously, Hooker might have the better wins at 155 because Burns really hasn't beaten anybody good. I mean, you should think about Hooker though. I mean, I guess Mark's the best guy. He's beaten Jim Miller's, on the decline. Burns has beaten who? I mean, Jason Sago, and I mean, just freaking that guy, that Dan Moret. So I mean, both of them haven't really beaten anybody good. And I mean, Hooker beat Ross Pearson, but Ross Pearson I think won that first round. But that being said, I think on the feet, Hooker's the better striker. He definitely has more weapons, but I think Gilbert Burns has more power. Hooker does have good takedown defense, but I think Gilbert Burns is going to come back to his wrestling move. I mean, I don't think he's stupid. I mean, people are saying he's falling in love with the striking, but let's be honest, Gilbert Burns has, some of the best jiu-jitsu in the division. He's, in my opinion, he's, up there, man, in the ranks, in probably the top 5 in the division in jiu-jitsu. He does have very good grappling, and I think he's, definitely the stronger guy too. I know Hooker's, big for the weight class, and Burns, guy walks around like 200 pounds. I mean, I think he's gonna, kind of out grapple him in this fight, man. So I'm gonna have to go Gilbert Burns, and I actually think that he's gonna give Hooker Hooker's 3rd submission loss. I'm not saying that Hooker's bad on the ground. Hooker has a good ground game. He has good takedown defense. He has a good guillotine, but the guillotine's not going to work against Gilbert Burns. I mean, let's be honest. I just think this striker versus grappler matchup, and I think Gilbert Burns doesn't go back to his grappling roots because you can't dock the guy at all for his grappling. Okay, striking, isn't the best, but I know it's looked good. Last couple of fights. If Gilbert Burns was out there and doesn't even go for the takedown, he's going to lose. But I just think he will, and that's why I'm not playing it because I don't know if Burns is going to go for the takedown initially. He should though. I mean, if he has common sense, he should. But you just don't know what's going to happen. And it's one of the best fights in the night, or one of the best fights in the card. So I'll go Gilbert Burns. I got him by a second round submission. But, it's definitely, a very hard fight to call, like I mentioned. And Hooker, is a good fighter, man. So, and now he's like minus 130 and Burns like plus 110. So it's playable, man, for Hooker. But I got to go Gilbert Burns. So next fight, we got my first play of the night. We got Curtis Millender versus Max Griffin, and I got 4 units on Millender. I just think this is a good matchup for him. We don't have to worry about the takedown here. I know Max Griffin took down Mike Perry like once, but I mean that doesn't even matter. Come on, Mike Perry doesn't have good takedown defense. Millender is, I think, the better striker. He fights really long. I like his counter game. He just, he toys with you. He lets you come in, and he fights so long. I like him, man. He's so good at 170. All of his losses, I think, is 1 decision, 2 losses by sub. But like I mentioned, we don't have to worry about Max Griffin. Max Griffin doesn't have a ground game. He's a decent striker. He's no jobber. I'll tell you that. I mean, he beat Mike Perry, but I mean, to be honest, it's not hard to beat Mike Perry. I mean, all you have to do is stick a move and kind of outbowl him. You just have to be aware of that one shot that he throws, the bombs. But yeah, man, I think Millender's gonna keep him on the feet. I think he's too well rounded on the feet. The grappling advantage. I mean, who has a better grappling in this fight? I mean, I don't think it's gonna stay on the feet. I don't think it's gonna hit the mat. I mean, if it goes to the mat, I think Max will get him down, but I think Millender will get right back up. I know Thiago Alves took him down for a second, but I mean, he held on to a guillotine, and then the round ended. But Millender, controlled that fight. He smoked him in that fight, and knocking out a guy like Thiago Alves. I mean, you can say he's in the decline, but he's still a tough out for a lot of people. I mean, that was really impressive. Millender has knees. I mean, he has a lot of stuff besides the strikes. So I mean, I just think that he's super big for the weight class. He's a really good striker, and this isn't the time, to fade him. Max has no ground game, dude. So I think a wrestler, with good striking will be, a tough matchup for Wonder, like Luke or something like that. But I mean, this isn't, this is Max Griffin. But I just think that the striking is just on different levels. I think Wonder's going to go out there and knock him out. So I got Curtis Wonder. I think he's going to knock him out in the second round. So next fight, man, we got Rafael Assuncao versus Rob Font, and this is another pretty good fight. Yeah, I mean, what? Initially, I was thinking about maybe, if Font maybe could catch him, but Assuncao has a good chin, and he's only been knocked out once. You never really see Assuncao get hurt in fights, but because I was impressed with Font's win against Almeida, but to be honest, there's levels of this, and I think Assuncao is, in that top 5. I don't think Rob Font's there yet, and Assuncao is one of the best fighters in the division. He has a very good striking. It's very hard to take him down. He has good grappling, good jiu-jitsu. I think it's going to stay on the feet the majority of the fight, but I just think that he's going to, he's too smart, I think, for Rob Font. I think he's going to out-volume him, and I think it's a winning decision. I don't think he's going to put away Rob Font. I don't think Rob Font's going to hurt him, and I just think that Rob Font, he's not there yet. I don't think he's in that category yet that Assuncao is. So I got Assuncao by a pretty clear-cut decision. So next fight, we got Paul Felder versus Mike Perry. This just got added a couple of days ago. I don't really know what to think about this fight, man. It was a weird fight. I was actually going to pick Yancey versus Mike Perry, and I was picking Vic versus Felder. Now we got, Felder fighting at 170 versus Mike Perry. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not really that high on Perry anymore. I mean, he's not a jobber, obviously. He's a tough dude, hits like a truck, just doesn't throw that much. I mean, maybe he'll look better at Jackson's, which is what I'm going with. But Paul Felder, man, I mean, I'm just not high on him either, man. I mean, to be honest, I'm actually picking Mike Perry to win this fight. Paul Felder, man, the guy just, you don't know what's going to show up. I mean, the guy just, he's a head case, man. I mean, the guy's not a jobber, but I mean, I don't know, man. His just striking's good, but I mean, I know he's, he looked better, man, at Rufus. He's definitely, being Charles Oliveira, being Alex Ritchie, Stephen Ray, but I don't think those guys are good, in my opinion. I think this is, going to be a tough task for him. He's going up the weight class. Mike Perry definitely hits harder than him. the grappling. I mean, I don't know who has a grappling advantage in this fight. They're not going to be, going for the takedown. To be honest, if it hits the mat, I think Perry might take him down, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Perry, has more power in the feet. I think Felder could have volume, but to be honest, I just don't think Felder can hang with a guy like Mike Perry at 170. So there's a reason why Felder's been fighting at 155. He doesn't like to get hit. He doesn't like to get hit either. So I mean, and let's be honest, man. I mean, Perry could be a good fighter at Jackson's. We don't know. So, but I'm leaning him just because it's his weight class and he hits harder. So I'm gonna go with Perry, but I'm not confident in that play at all. And like I mentioned, Felder's not a jobber. Okay, the guy is a good fighter. Just you don't know what Felder's gonna get. So I gotta go with Mike Perry here. And yeah, man, it's just a weird fight. I'll be honest. So next fight we got Uriah Hall versus Paulo Costa. Yeah, you know what? Initially, I was thinking that Costa was gonna run all over him, but now the more I think about it, I think that Hall could get the win. He's live, but I'm gonna have to go with Costa. I think he's gonna go out there and put him away in the first. I think Uriah Hall's in the decline. I don't think he has a newer, but kind of like what I mentioned like last fight. I mean, you don't know what Hall you're gonna get. I mean, Hall could go out there and smoke for it. So to be honest, I mean, if he makes out of the first round, I mean, it's gonna get a sweat fest. I know Boer's beaten Hendricks and what's his face? Who did he just beat? He beat John Hendricks and some other jobber. Bambose. He beat them in the second round. But they're jobbers, man. I mean, Uriah Hall's not a jobber. The guy's on the decline, but he's not a jobber. He's still a top 15 guy. I mean, the guy's showed that he's one of the best strikers in the division. But I mean, he just the fight versus Jocko was really impressive. He weathered that storm. If he weathers that storm in this fight, I think he could win. But I just don't think it's time to fade Paulo. Paulo's time will be, his first hell's coming right around the corner. And, I'm excited. We'll see who he fights next after this. But I just don't think that, Uriah Hall is going to win this fight. But I do think he's alive, though. So, I mean, Paulo's an animal in that first round. But let's see what happens, man. Because let's be honest, Uriah Hall's still a good striker. He is on the decline. But, I mean, he could still beat for us. So, I got Bora, but Hall's alive for sure. And I'm not going to dock you guys if you guys take the shot. Because, to be honest, it's a weird fight, man. I mean, it's a big step up for Paulo too. So, all right. So the main card, we got first fight of the night. We got Gokhan Saki versus Khalil Rountree, and I got my second play. I got 3 units on Khalil. I know I got burned last fight, with Khalil versus Mikel, and he didn't look good in that fight, man. I mean, he lost a decision. He gassed in that fight, but we don't have to worry about the takedown here. And that's how you beat Khalil. You take him down. I know Saki's a very good striker. He's one-on-one MMA fighter. It's funny because Khalil changed camps and now is training with Kenny Johnson and like Joe Ban and OSP and all those guys. OSP's been training with them for recently at Black House. And to be honest, I mean, I won't be surprised if Khalil goes for a takedown here. I know we haven't seen that because, I mean, he's so bad on the ground. His submission defense is not good, but let's be honest, dude. I mean, he has a grappling advantage in this fight. There's no way that a guy, one-on-one kickboxing guy like Saki has a grappling advantage. I don't think he's going to do it personally, but I mean, if he does, it won't be, shocked. But on the feet, Saki, that guy hits like a truck, dude. He has a very good left hand. You saw the counter he hit against Frankenstein, but he has a gassing problem too, man. I mean, he's 1-1. He's been knocked out like 9 times. I mean, a lot of people were acting like Khalil has no chance here. I mean, I had to take the shot on here, man. I mean, I was high on Khalil in the past, and I mean, he's not, he hasn't developed yet. I don't think he's, a good fighter, but I think this is a good spot for him. I'm 2-1 betting him. I know that he beat 2 jobbers, but I don't think Saki's that good in my opinion. I mean, the dude's 1-1, man. He's a good striker, but what's going to happen if he gets out of the first? I mean, I think Khalil might have the better gas tank too, and Khalil has very good striking. You can't just think Saki doesn't go out there and smoke the guy. So on the feet, it's going to be very good, man. I think, the southpaw for Khalil, it's going to get interesting for sure, especially if Khalil backs him up because, let's be honest, dude, Khalil hits like a fucking truck as well as Saki. So I just don't get like what a lot of people are saying that Saki's easy money. I don't think so. I think Khalil, has more ways to win, to be honest, because if it hits the mat, I think Khalil has the advantage on the feet. I don't think Saki is, has the advantage, to be honest. I mean, the guy's 1-1. I mean, maybe in the first round he might have the advantage, but if it hits the second round, I mean, I think Khalil, might have it. But I think it's going to be back and forth war, but I'm going to have to go with Khalil, man. I mean, Frankenstein hurt this guy, backed him against the cage, and Saki just didn't look like, he wanted to be in there, man. I mean, props to him for beating a guy like Frankenstein, but Khalil would beat Frankenstein as well. So by a knockout. So I have to go Khalil here, man. And the interview, a lot of people are talking about it. Obviously, it makes me nervous because it either looks like he doesn't want to be there, like interviewing, or just, he's not. I don't know. I mean, really, no one really knows what to think from the interview. I mean, it's not good, obviously, but I mean, maybe just doesn't want to be interviewed. But he was super excited for the matchup the first time. Then he got mad because he had to fight Mikel, and look what happened last fight. The striking, man. I mean, he gassed after the first round, and Mikel popped, obviously. But Mikel's props to Mikel, man. I mean, a guy like Mikel, he gets better throughout the fight. I don't think Saki, his gas tanks, Saki doesn't have the same kind of cardio that Mikel does. So, Khalil and Saki both have cardio problems, but you got to give the cardio advantage to Khalil, in my opinion, because we haven't really seen Saki. I mean, we saw him like 2 minutes and he was gassing out, and I think Khalil has better cardio than 2 minutes. So I got to go Khalil here, but I'm a little nervous because he dropped the ball last fight. Saki's a good striker, but this is an MMA fight, so I got to go Khalil here. Next fight, we got Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. This is a very good fight. I also got 4 units on Chiesa. I had him at plus, or I had a bet on him when he was plus money in the first fight when it was, it's a couple months ago, and now I got him at minus 160. I think this is a terrible matchup with Pettis. Pettis is not going to be able to get up. I think, a lot of people are thinking that Pettis is going to smoke him on the feet. Pettis doesn't throw anymore. This is the ghost of Pettis. Chiesa's striking is not bad either. He has a very good clinch game. He's dirty in the clinch. And Chiesa's not stupid. He's not going to go out there and out strike him for 3 rounds. He's going to go out there and get him down, tap him out. I'm not worried, Pettis off his back either. So I think Chiesa, has it's a very good match for him. I think he's going to go out there, take him down, and tap him out. And a lot of people, think that Chiesa sucks because of what happened with Kevin Lee and all that. But Kevin Lee's a good fighter, man. I mean, I was wrong about that. I thought Chiesa could beat Kevin Lee, but Kevin Lee's, a top 3 guy. So Pettis is done. This is not the same Pettis that fought, Cowboy, Cerrone, and all those guys. So Chiesa is definitely going to win this fight, and he has a huge grappling advantage here. So I got Michael Chiesa. Next fight, we got Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. This is a very good fight. I'm going to keep it, short and sweet. I think Francis Ngannou's going to go out there and get a quick KO. I don't think Derek Lewis belongs in that league that Francis is in. I know Francis lost to the champ as the champ. You think Derek Lewis would he even last 30 seconds to get the champ? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, Derek Lewis has been knocked out a couple times before. He doesn't have the best chin. Francis hits like a truck. I think Francis is honestly going to knock him out within the first minute, in my opinion. There's levels of this. Francis is so much of a better fighter than Derek Lewis. So Derek Lewis, I mean, the guy eats fried chicken before a fight. The guy doesn't even train that good. I mean, he could be. You don't even know Derek Lewis is going to show up, dude. So I got to go Francis Ngannou. And I want to see a rematch with him in Curtis Place because that's a really good fight. Next fight, we got Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, T-City. And I took the shot on my boy, T-City, 4 units. And I think he's going to win, man, to be honest. Max Holloway is a very good champion. But I think the guy needs to go to 155. He's too – you can say the same thing about T-City because they're both, big guys. But I just think if this fight hits the mat once, it's going to be over. And on the feet, a lot of people think that Max is so much better on the feet. But to be honest, I mean – T-City striking looks so good. I mean, come on. He beat Frankie Edgar, dude. The guy just, I mean, you can say he was losing that fight. I thought it was a very close fight until the knockdown. But, I mean, dude, his striking looked really good. And guys don't do that to Frankie Edgar. It's the first time you ever finished him. So, has anyone ever finished him? And Max Holloway has holes in the feet. The guy gets hit so much. I mean, I know T-City has a very good chin. He gets hit too. But I think T-City, what I like about him is that he's always in your face and he has very good pressure because he's not worried about the takedown. He wants you to take him down. So I just think T-City's going to give him no room to breathe, man. I think he's going to actually hurt him on the feet and then tap him out. So I got T-City, man. You can't fake this guy, man. I mean, you can't, dude. T-City is the real deal. This guy's not going to lose for a while. He's definitely going to beat Khabib too, and I can't wait for that to happen. But I know, fading guy Holloway is not the smartest thing because Max Holloway is a very good fighter, but I just think that T-City's on a different level, and I think he's the best fighter in the division. And I think he's going to pressure him, hurt him, and drop him and tap him out. So I got T-City. Palm trees and guillotines, guys. Palm trees and guillotines. So next fight, we got the main event. We got Stipe Miocic versus DC Daniel Cormier. This is another, kind of close fight to call. The lines are definitely off. You got, DC who's to fight heavyweight. You got Stipe, who's the fast man on the planet. Personally, man, I mean, I think Stipe has the better boxing, but DC has very good striking as well. DC is an Olympic wrestler. Is Stipe gonna take him down? I don't know, but I just think this is gonna be a back and forth fight, going all 5 rounds. And I think Stipe is gonna get his hand raised. I think he's gonna win 3 rounds, and I don't think DC can take him down, and I think Stipe could actually take him down. But it's just gonna be a close fight, man. It's a weird fight, and I don't know why Stipe is that big of a favorite because I think it should be more of a pick 'em. But I mean, DC. I mean, they're both old, but DC's head. I mean, the guy wants to retire in a couple fights, so I just don't know where his head's at. I think he still wants to fight John Jones again, which he does obviously. But it wouldn't shock me if he won because he's definitely DC's one of the best fighters of all time, man. I mean, I faded him versus with Volkan. You guys know what happened there. Volkan got smoked. But I just think Stipe is a way better fighter than Volkan. Stipe is the best heavyweight of all time, in my opinion. So I got Stipe. I think he's gonna win a close decision. So there's my picks. There's my bets. I got T City 4 units, Mender 4 units, Chiesa 4 units, and 3 units for Khalil. And yeah, man. So we'll be back for the Boise card. I have a very special guest on that card that will be breaking down the fights with me. And yeah, man, he's definitely one of the best guys on the Twitter fam. He's one of the best cappers out there. He's definitely a guy that I look up to, and we talk a lot. And yeah, so I'm excited that he's gonna come on the show. I'm not gonna say who it is. And if anyone knows who it is, like if he told you guys, like just don't blurt it out. I don't want anyone to know because it's gonna be a secret. But yeah, so I'll see you guys for the Idaho card, and that's a very, very, very good card. I'm actually watching tape for it right now because I'm going on vacation. I'm not gonna be able to watch tape next week, and there's a lot of good fights in that card. So all right, guys. Hope everyone cashes, and let's do it.